I want to say hello to all our Franklin Regional students and welcome you back. And as we transition back into the end of a successful school year, my experience in history here at Franklin Regional has been to be an elementary school principal, which many of you may know. And one of the biggest jobs I had to do at the end of the summer was to welcome our kindergarten students into Heritage Elementary. And part of that transition occurred when the students came to school and were a little bit fearful, and also the parents were too. So I was requested to read a book from several of the parents that I talked to over the last couple days as we met before we opened school up. And I thought that I would honor that request and read a book to you like I did many, many years ago, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you? You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books and swing on new swings. Besides," Mom said, "a wonderful secret that I have will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home." Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret are you going to share with me?" "A very old secret," said Mrs. Raccoon. "I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand." "The kissing hand?" asked Chester. "What's that?" "I'll show you." Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester's right hand in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand up his arm and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. "Now," she said, "whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, 'Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you.' And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts." She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. "Now, do be careful not to lose it," she teased him. "But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick." Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly he turned to his mother and grinned. "Give me your hand," he told her. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. "Now, you have a kissing hand too," he told her, and with a gentle goodbye and "I love you," Chester turned and danced away. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree and enter into school. And as the hoot-owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. "Chester loves you," it sang. "Chester loves you." Welcome back, students. I'm glad to have everybody here.